The plank, an isometric exercise targeting multiple muscle groups at the same time. The great thing about the plank is that beginners as well as experienced athletes can profit from it. And both will vibrate like a phone at some point. Nevertheless, some say planks are a waste of time. And I agree, if you do the following mistakes. If done correctly, the plank can be a fantastic exercise to build core and ab strength, and be a great help in learning various calisthenics or b-boy skills. Let's jump right into it. Mistake number 1, having a wrong head position, or like I call it, doing the giraffe. Looks already unhealthy, right? As the plank gets gradually more and more difficult, the focus switches naturally to keep the hips at the same level. At that point, what happens very often is that the head drops. In putting your head down, you rest, and many muscles which you should actually engage do not. That is problem number 1, and problem number 2 is that you also might get cramps. With putting your head down, you're lengthening your traps and rhomboids. And keeping your head too high is also not ideal. Remember, don't be a bobblehead and keep your head straight. Mistake number 2 is probably the most common one, and that is having a wrong hip position. You can have your hips either too low or too high. Both are wrong and diminishing your gains. With having your hips too high, you make it yourself way too easy. That are very often people who think they can hold it very long, but in reality, if they would do it correctly, they would hold it for like 5 seconds. With elevated hips, your abs and quads are doing most of the work. That's obviously missing the point of the whole plank. On the other hand, having your hips too low is also not good for your back. People who hold the plank with the hips too low mean it in a good way, but what they actually do is they aggravate back pain. But this position amplifies the stress on your core muscles, and that might also lead to cramps. It's always better to hold it for a couple of seconds with the correct form than for a longer time with the wrong form. Obviously. So already slight shifts in your hip angle take out the tension or over multiply it. If you are unsure about it, film yourself and find the golden angle. But most of the time you will feel it. Mistake number 3. Holding the plank too long. I totally get this one. You want to get the most out of your plank, so you prolong the time of holding the plank. Makes sense. But there are 2 problems. Problem number 1 is if you already start in a bad form, then you hold this wrong form for a long period of time and get used to it, and in the worst case, you harm yourself with it. And problem number 2 is that as the intensity grows, you are slipping into a wrong position, and then hold this wrong position for a longer time. This second one is of course the better in quotation marks, but still not ideal. As soon as you realize that your form is suffering, simply stop. Your body will thank you. If you are a beginner, aim for 30 seconds to 1 minute, and if you are more advanced, you can of course increase the time. And if you want to test yourself, try the 10-minute plank challenge. Now we come to mistake number 4, a wrong upper back position. In particular, we are focusing on your shoulders here. What you should definitely not do is pulling your shoulders up to your ears. Come on, that already looks wrong. Well, of course you don't see yourself from the side, but this is something you should keep in mind. And the other, more important thing is to not hang through with your upper back. Even with a great lower body form, you can still look like a sack of potatoes. To fix it, you have to make a so-called scapular protraction. There you squeeze your shoulders to the front and together. When doing it correctly, the highest point of the plank are your shoulder blades. The opposite would be of course the scapular retraction. This form is good for other things like pull-ups, but not in this case. The protraction is very similar to the form which you have during the planche or pseudo planche push-ups. Therefore, for this move, the plank is also a great preparation. Mistake number 5 is neglecting your legs and having no body tension. Now we covered already many parts of the body, but the legs are of course missing. And it's obvious that during the plank, your legs should be completely straight. Regarding the body tension, some might say that you are automatically under tension during the plank. But no. There is always a difference between doing something passively or actively. Of course, a proper form encourages to keep body tension, but in the plank you can add more than keeping your upper and lower body straight. The difference isn't seen at the first glance, but if you have a closer look. A plank is totally rigid. Well, guys, not totally. But full tension must be there from your toes to your nose. Feet, leg, arm, hand position are as important as your upper and lower back. Mistake number 6 is something I talk very often about in my videos, and that is breathing. During a plank, some are so focused on not dying that they are actually dying from inside. And that's kind of true. You need oxygen. And why do you need oxygen? They bind to your red blood cells and they transport the oxygen to your muscle cells. At the same time, they take up directly and indirectly the acids from your muscles. And what happens is that you have more efficient muscle cells. In other words, you are working better and you can hold intensities for a longer period of time. I once made a video about the importance of breathing. You can find the link in the description below. Proper breathing will therefore not only help you with the plank, but with any other exercise you do. During a plank, you are squeezing your lungs, yes, and it's more difficult, absolutely, but usually you should still be able to breathe. And the more conscious you do it, the better your outcome. Finally, the last mistake, doing only planks and having no variations. With not doing variations, you are missing out on so many fantastic exercises. From military holds to star planks, you can elevate your plank game to a completely different level. With adding variations, you are not only improving your plank game, but you are improving all other areas. Pull-ups will be easier, push-ups will be easier, any calisthenics skill you can imagine will be easier, and b-boy skills of course as well. Plank variations are really underestimated. Just an example, the side plank. As I trained for the human flag, I included side planks and side plank push-ups into my workout, and I can just confirm that the progress is just improved massively. The same with b-boy skills of course, and the cool thing is that they are complementing each other. The more or the longer you can hold one specific variation, the easier it is to hold another variation, and so on. And that's probably the biggest reason, your workouts are much more fun than doing a boring plank. Even if it's just putting one leg on the other, it's already a difference. If you need some inspiration, I made a video with 50 plank variations. You can find the link in the description below. In summary, the plank itself is not the problem. The form is. I was always proud in saying how long I could hold the plank until I filmed myself and realized that my sister could beat me in the form I had back then. Take a step back, save and remember this video, and keep in mind that you are not doing the plank for the sake of holding it long, you are doing it for the sake of becoming stronger. Thanks a lot for watching, wish you all the best, take care and see you in the next video.